Hi, Sandra here from Creating Spain, and today I'm doing another craft room tutorial, and this one is a relatively short one, so you won't have to be watching for very long, and it's how to make your own blending stick. Now, I looked for these in the shops around me, and you'd think I was asking for a trip to Mars, the expressions I got in craft shops and things. Well, the craft shop, there's only really one. It's very small, it doesn't actually have a great deal of stock. And I know what it's like in Spain. Unless you're in a major city with a really good art shop, there is absolutely no chance of me finding one of these locally. But I just wanted to try it out without actually having to order one online and so on and so forth. And it turns out they are very easy to actually make because I looked at what they were and they're actually only paper. How easy can it get? Right, so equipment needed for this is a sheet of paper. Now I've just used normal standard printer paper, nothing special about this. And you do need a bit of glue, and I've just got a sticky pen, a Bostik sticky pen here. So first thing to do, because I want mine relatively short and stubby, is to tear the paper in half. Don't worry that this is really fine, it really doesn't matter. And so all you have to do is to take your paper and to roll it up. Now if you've got very thin paper, like I have, then the easiest way to start is just by folding in a very tiny amount. And if you've got nails, use them to try and fold over and over. The tighter you can do this, the better the end result will be. And I'm making a right mess of this one. It's not very easy trying to do it with the camera in front of me. I did the last one when I was stood up, and that was definitely easier than trying to do this. But that is the general gist of it. So you just turn it over and turn it over until you can start to roll. And I'm just using my nails to kind of like fold this over. It doesn't matter if it's twisted, it makes no great difference. Until we'll take that little extra strip off. It's a bit too thin. And just folding over and over like so. And once you've got it started, it gets a bit easier, thankfully. It's just the first few turns that are quite difficult, and once you start getting a little bit of a thickness there, it just works a lot easier. But the tighter you get this, particularly started off, the better your blending stick will be. There is a fancy French name for them, but I can't remember what it is. I do vaguely remember. So we begin with T, I think. I cannot for the life of me remember what it is. Right, this is getting a lot easier now. I can almost roll it. It's still a little angular, but can almost roll it. Okay, it's getting a lot easier now. Now you can, if you want to, when you actually got to the end of this, you can actually put another layer on top if you wish. So this depends on how you want it to be. Some people like a very thin one for fine work, and some people like a much fatter one simply because they like it. It's more comfortable to hold, or just because they like chunky ones. It doesn't really matter. Okay, there we go. Now what I'm going to do, let's try and hold that in place while I take the lid off my glue. Well, this one's got a chunky tip spreader. And I'm just going to put some over about the last inch or so. You don't want a really wet glue for that. You want something that's going to be quite sticky and will dry quite rapidly. There we are. Not something that's going to make your paper very wet. And just keep on rolling up. There we go. Oh, that's it. Pretty much done. Not quite, but pretty much. Now, this one would have to be left to dry for a while. And then what you do is you take a pencil sharpener and you stick one end in the pencil sharpener and you sharpen it. As you can see, I've used this one a little bit just to test it. And it works really quite well. But do dry it first before you sharpen it, otherwise you'll probably end up getting into a bit of a mess. And if you do put a second layer of paper on the top, make sure that you don't make it so thick that you can't get it in your sharpener, because that would be a bit sad. So here's mine, and actually I've used this scrap of paper, and I've got some Inktense pencils here, so I'll just choose a couple of colours and just do a bit of a scribble. And a different colour. Just hold it up so you can see what it's like. And then I've just got some water in a jam jar lid here. And I'm just going to go over that like so. And you can see that it does actually work. It will get a bit soggy and you will need to let it dry out, and you will probably want to sharpen it before maybe changing colours or from light to dark or whatever. But basically, if you want to try it out before maybe spending some money on an actual commercially made one, you can do that. Now, I don't have any normal colouring crayons to try it out with. I just don't have any. I've only got watercolour ones. But I'm guessing that if it works for rubbing this together, then it's going to work with your normal crayons. And I believe if you're using normal crayons, you can probably either use alcohol or water. Shouldn't make any great deal of difference. Or there is some special kind of crayon dissolving medium that you can probably use to dip it in. Okay, short and sweet, and that's it. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.